Thumbnail is very important part for anyone who wants to grow their YouTube channel, since it's the main gateway for viewers to click your video and then get to know your channel. Thumbnails also play a very important role to communicate the brand image of your channel. However, for some fresh YouTubers, making a thumbnail might not be the easiest task. Even thinking about what text should be put on the thumbnail, what's the color, and what's the text style, and so on, it could be quite a challenge. In this tutorial, I will show you 4 simple text effects that are actually used by many YouTube channels out there. And it's so simple that you can make each of those effects under 1 minute. So let's get started. The first one is outline effect. This is one of the most classic text effect in the world. Even today, many YouTube channels still use this effect on their thumbnails. It's simple, effective, and once you master it, the possibility to develop the effect further is simply limitless. And here's how to do it. First, open your Photoshop. And for now, we're gonna practice it first. Make a document with 800 pixel of width and 250 pixel of height. You can put any background image as you like and then type any words there. As for me, I'll type news update. You can use any font, but it's better to use bold fonts like Impact. If you're set, double-click on the right side of the text layer name to bring Layer Style dialog window. Click on Color Overlay. From the color box, you can set any color you want to the text layer by dragging the slider up and down, and then pick a point from the box on the left. As for me, I'll choose a bright yellow. After you've finished, click on Stroke. Here, you can add a color outline to your text layer. Pick a color from the box and choose one that have a nice contrast with the text color. I will go with black. Now, you can set the thickness of your outline from this slider. Just drag it around until you find the right thickness for your text. Or, you can enter any number directly to this box. Then, click OK, and you're finished. This may look very simple, but with some experience, you could use this simple technique to make great thumbnails by mixing up several fonts, playing with the colors, and so on. As you can see, even big YouTuber like PewDiePie also used this simple text effect on his thumbnails. Now, we're going to learn a variation to this effect by applying color gradation to the text. Using this technique, you can have more varieties for your text and make your thumbnails more interesting. Now let's get back to Photoshop. Clear your layer style or make a new text layer. Double-click on the text layer to bring the Layer Style dialog window again. Click on the Gradient Overlay and then click on the Color Gradation box to open the Gradient Editor. Here, you can pick 2 colors for your text. First, click on the left bottom slider and pick the color from the box below. You can choose any color here. I will go with light green. Click OK, and then you can click the right bottom slider and pick another color for the other end of the gradation. After you finish applying the gradation, click OK on the dialog window to apply the effect. Then click on Stroke, and then set the color and thickness of the outline for your text. I'll just go with current settings. And you're done. With more practice, just by using this simple text effect, you can already make good thumbnails that stand out and quite effective. The next effect is Gradient Backdrop. This effect works by applying a gradation of darker color behind the text layer, so that the text have some contrast with the background image, and can be read easily by the viewer. And here's how to do it. Back to Photoshop. With a fresh text layer, bring up the Layer Style dialog window. Click Color Overlay and pick bright color, like yellow. And click OK. Then, select the background layer and make a new layer on top of it. And then, look for Gradient tool from the toolbox. With the Gradient tool selected, you'll see Gradient box under the menu. Click on the Gradient box. There will be a selection of color gradation that you can choose from. Pick the second one, usually it's a gradient from black to transparent color. Now, make sure that the new blank layer is selected. And then, on the image, click your mouse and hold it, Make a vertical line while holding the Shift button on your keyboard. Release your mouse button, and you'll see gradation behind the text layer. You can try to make another gradation until you're satisfied with the result. After that, you can change the opacity of the layer so that it mixes up better with the whole layer composition. And you're done. You can practice this technique by using other colors for the gradation and play with the opacity so that it blends better with the background image. This simple technique is often used by big channels like upklyak for their thumbnails. The next effect is drop shadow. This effect is very useful when you want to use bright color for your text. Even with background image that has little contrast with the text color, drop shadow effect can separate them easily. And here's how to do it. Let's get back to Photoshop again. Start with fresh text layer, double-click on the layer to bring up the layer style dialog window. Click on color overlay and pick bright color, like white. After that, go click on drop shadow. Here you can change the settings of the effect by dragging the sliders or put numbers on the boxes. Or you can click on the box and use your mouse's scroll to move the value up or down. You can see that the shadow effect is changing as you adjust the setting. Just play with the numbers until you're satisfied with the effect. Then click OK, and you're set. This simple effect is used by so many YouTubers. You can learn from them where to put the text and the size of the font. This effect also works great with other style fonts, like brush or handwriting fonts. The last effect we learned today is highlight banner. This effect works by putting a contrasting color banner under the text so that it can easily be read. This effect is very effective when you have long text for the thumbnails, and you can easily combine colors between the text and banner to make a great thumbnail. More on this later. Now let's learn how to do it. Back to Photoshop. Start with fresh text layer. Open the layer style dialog window again. And click on color overlay, pick a bright color from the box. I will use bright yellow. Click OK when you're done. Now select the background layer and then make a new layer above it. Make sure the new layer is selected and then pick the rectangular marquee from the toolbox. Make a selection box just outside the text border by holding down the left mouse button and drag it over the text. After that, make sure that the front color is black or click letter D on your keyboard to reset it. Now on your keyboard, click Alt button together with backspace to fill the selection with the foreground color. Click inside the box to deactivate the selection. And you're done. You can practice this effect by combining colors. Cesar Milan's channel, for instance, use red and white combination for the text and its banner. With some experience, you can make good use of this simple effect to create a strong impression of your channel's brand through the color combination and the whole composition of the thumbnails. So that's it for today's videos. You've learned some simple text effects that are actually used by YouTubers for their thumbnails. With what you've learned today and some practices, you can make this kind of thumbnails for your own channel. So, thank you for watching, and see you next time. Upklyak out.